I once worked with a woman and she was in her 70s. On the outside, she looked really composed, she looked strong, she looked capable. She had raised children, she'd built a really amazing life. She actually survived things most people would never see or think of. But she did carry something that was invisibly inside of her. It was a quiet tension in her chest, she hesitated when she spoke, a feeling that she was too much or not enough, depending on the day. It fluctuated. She did tell me, I've tried therapy, I've tried everything, I've tried talking about it, I've tried forgetting it. And then she said something that changed everything. She said, I don't even know what I'm holding on to anymore. I just know it's heavy. So I asked her a set of different questions, not about what happened, but when did you first decide you had to carry this alone? And then she paused because it wasn't about the event. It was about the decision that she made at the time. So she didn't need to relive the memory. She didn't need to realize that the decision that she made at 7 years old was still running at 72. And when she saw that, something started to soften. Not because we forced the release or anything like that, but because her nervous system realized, I don't have to protect myself that way anymore. So you see, emotions don't grip us. Delusions do. Beliefs do. Identity does. And sometimes those beliefs are formed before we even have words, before we even have logic, or even in the womb, or through our mother's stress, or through generational survival patterns, or even simply from a child's misunderstanding. And the body held that charge within her because no one ever told her that the danger was over. So it's not about digging up pain. It's not about updating a system that has been loyal to you for decades, because the anxiety, the social fear, the money ceiling, the business hesitation, or the physical tension, they may have, once kept you safe, but safety at 7 is really different from safety now. And when the nervous system feels the difference, what happens? It releases on its own. So, on a scale from 1 to 10, how ready are you to let go of this, even if the parts of you have carried this for decades? What would happen, or what would need to happen inside of you to make it feel safe to release this? If this emotion wasn't part of you or who you are, who would you be without it? Is there something you are or something you learnt? Is this something you are or something you learnt? When you feel this emotion strongly, what does it mean about you? When did you decide that about you back then? If your younger version of you had more information, what might they have decided instead? If you release this, is there anyone you'd feel disloyal to? Did anyone in your family carry something similar? Imagine waking up tomorrow and it's all gone. What's different? How do you walk? How do you speak? How do you decide? Yeah. What becomes possible in your relationships, your money, your body, your business? You do not need to release 27 emotions individually. You do release the root decision. Emotions are just the branches of that decision. Beliefs are the root. Yeah, they're the roots. If that belief is, I'm not safe to be seen, this will create social anxiety, business hesitation, money ceiling, or body contraction. When the root dissolves, multiple emotions reorganize itself simultaneously. However, if the trauma is layered across decades, we may need to release the dormant emotions of clusters such as fear and shame, clean up the residual layers of identity, but you don't need to chase the emotions. You've already updated the system, haven't you? For someone that's holding on to something, say for 50 years plus, maybe that all they need is safety, dignity, respect for how brilliantly they survived. If they feel broken, they're resistant. If they feel adaptive, they release. So before we begin, I want you to understand something deeply. You are here to relieve the pain. You are not here to analyze the past. And you are certainly not here to prove how strong you've been. You've already proven that. What we are doing now is different. We're not going to reopen the wounds. We're going back to update the decision because the younger version of you made the decision she could with the information she had, and that decision kept you safe. But safety then is not safety now. And here's what most people don't realize. Your unconscious mind does not store time the way your conscious mind does. To your nervous system, something that you've carried for over 50 years ago can still be present if it was never completed. Make sense? Not because you're weak, not because you're broken, but because your system is loyal. And loyalty is very powerful, right? So today we're not fighting your emotions, we're thanking them. Because every emotion that stayed for a reason. Fear stayed to protect you. Shame stayed to prevent rejection. Anger stayed to create boundaries. Anxiety stayed to scan for danger. Even numbness stayed to help you survive. And when your system feels respected, it relaxes. When it relaxes, it reorganizes. When it reorganizes, it releases naturally. So, in a moment, I'm going to invite you to do something really simple, not dramatic, not overwhelming, just simple. You allow your awareness to rise above your timeline, above the events, above the years, above the ages, and from that place we don't relieve, we observe, and from that observation comes freedom. And as you prepare to do this, just gently notice, is there any part of you that believes holding on to this is still necessary? If there is, just thank that part. Let it know you're not taking safety away, you're upgrading it. Because this process does not remove protection, it removes outdated protection, and the unconscious mind loves efficiency. So take a deep breath now, not to relax, just to signal readiness. And as you breathe, allow the idea that whatever began this pattern, whether it started in childhood, in the womb, through your mother's nervous system, through generational survival, or through a child's innocent misunderstanding, it can complete today without struggle, without force, without drama. You don't need to know the exact event. Your unconscious mind already does. You don't need to dig. Your system knows where the root cause is, and it will guide us. In a moment, I invite you to imagine floating gently above your timeline, seeing it stretched out below you from before your birth to the present moment. And from that higher place, we locate the origin of the decision, not to relieve it, but to release the charge around it. And when you're ready in your own time, just allow your awareness to begin to lift, as if you're rising slowly above your body, above the room, above the years. Become the observer of your entire life. And notice how they're already changing things. Take a slow, deep breath in and exhale. Nothing needs to be forced here. Nothing needs to be relieved. Nothing needs to be dramatic. You have carried this for a long time, and the body does not release through pressure. It releases through safety. So before we go anywhere, just notice your body. Notice the chair beneath you. The ground supporting you. The air moving in and out. You are here. You are safe. You are in control. And at any moment, you can just slow down, pause, or open your eyes. That choice alone begins to update the nervous system. Now, gently bring your awareness to the patterns you've carried. It may show up as fear, shame, anger, grief, unworthiness, anxiety, or a quiet heaviness. Fear, shame, anger, grief, unworthiness, anxiety, or just a quiet heaviness. You do not need to intensify it. Just notice where it lives in your body. Is it your chest? Your stomach? Your throat? Your jaw? Now, ask softly, when this feeling appears, what do I believe about myself? Let the answer rise naturally, not the story, the belief. It might be, I'm not safe, I'm not enough, I don't matter, I must protect myself. It's too dangerous to be seen. Just notice. This belief, not the event, just created the emotional pattern. So this belief is not the actual event, it just created that emotional pattern. Now imagine your life as a timeline stretching behind you. Not to relieve, but just to observe. Gently float above it, higher and higher enough to feel calm and detached. If you're still feeling detached, just rise higher and higher. Okay, so from here, you are the adult self. Stable, present, and capable. Stable, present, capable. Now ask your unconscious mind, take me to the first time this belief was formed. Allow whatever to arise to arise. You may see an event or you just may know that you are there. Either way is just perfect. It may be in your childhood, your teen years, or even earlier. Or a simple sense. You do not need the details, you only need the imprint. And now we expand the frame safely. If this pattern began before birth, in the womb, inherently from family, or carried symbolically across generations, allow me to sense the true origin. There is no need to interrupt. The nervous system responds to completion, not analysis. Now, observe that earlier version of you. Notice something important. The younger self made a decision in order to survive. Ask gently, what decision did I make here about myself or about the world? When it arises, recognize that that decision was made with limited awareness, limited power, limited choice, and it made sense at the time. Now ask, is this belief absolutely true now? Of course it's not. Your body may begin to soften already. This is where many people get stuck. They try to force meaning. We do not force, we ask. What did this experience teach me about strengths, boundaries, or awareness? Even painful experiences contain adaptive intelligence. Perhaps it taught you, I am resilient. I can survive. I value safety. I need boundaries. I deserve protection. I am resilient. I can survive. I value safety. I need boundaries. I deserve protection. Let the higher learnings reveal itself. Now, say internally, I keep the wisdom. I release the outdated belief. I keep the wisdom. I release the outdated belief. Feel the difference in your body. The nervous system releases when learnings is integrated. Now, notice the emotion again. Fear, shame, anger, grief, and anxiety. Instead of fighting them, say, "You were trying to protect me." You can rest now. Imagine the original belief dissolving at the root cause like a knot loosening. When the root cause dissolves, the branches soften naturally. You do not need to release each emotion separately if it shares one origin. You can release the decision. The emotions reorganise. Notice if your breath deepens. If your body feels slightly lighter, even if it's 5%, that's enough. For someone who has carried this for decades, small shifts are profound. Now, imagine this updated belief radiating backwards and outwards through your childhood, through adolescence, through adulthood, and beyond into your lineage, without blame, without drama, simply completion. Say internally, if this pattern was inherited, it ends with me. If this pattern was inherited, it ends with me. My nervous system updates now. Allow a feeling of quiet dignity to settle in. Now, gently move forward on your timeline. See yourself 1 year from now. Notice how you move, how you speak, how you hold yourself. The absence of the old charge is noticeable, not explosive, not dramatic, just calm, stable, free. Now breathe in gratitude as if this shift has already integrated. Because the body encodes what it feels repeatedly. Feel the appreciation for your resilience, your survival, your growth. Say internally, the pattern is complete. I carry this wisdom, not the womb. The pattern is complete. I carry wisdom, not the womb. Let the silence integrate it. Bring your awareness back to your body, your feet, your hands, and your breath. You have not erased your past, you have updated your relationship to it. And that is how long you've held patterns. Release safety through completion, not force. Take one final slow, deep breath in. And exhale fully. It is done for you for now. Integration continues gently over the coming days. Be kind to yourself.